fellow congregation members of the church, all people do this damn that the evil, rotten, and creeping those down, despicable, and monster. I realize that monsters like this do not have a place in heaven. And I also realize that hell simply will not have them because they don't want a mother hell like this trying to take over. Pardon my language. They won't be sick.
It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield, I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation, and we come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And where is that, might you ask? Well, let me give you some simple directions. It's just down the street, past the house, with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop and ask my man Joe. He's a man of commerce, and he'll point you in the right direction. You're going to take a right, followed by immediate left. As you're strolling down the street, you're going to pass an alley to your direct right. As you pass that alley, you're going to feel a cool breeze that'll chill you to your skeletal core. Is it the autumn wind? You goddamn right. What's at the end of that deep, dark alley? Should you venture down it? Well, of course you should. Because what you're going to find at the end is a little place that a select few like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. And as it is every Tuesday on Raider Reaction, it is the Raider Nation Report. With yours truly, a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. And as we are at that weird point of the week That's why I like the Raider Nation Report on Tuesday, because it's that weird point of the week where you're still digesting whatever just happened the previous weekend. But you're getting ready for what's about to happen in the upcoming weekend. So Tuesday's an interesting day in the football week. Because after Tuesday, you got to process everything and move on. So we start the show, we'll touch on week 2. And then we'll segue into week 3. Of course, tomorrow night, make sure you join me for Ghost to the Post, as every Wednesday we drop back deep in the pocket and let it fly league-wide, as Prime will be joining me again as we go back vintage style with Ghost to the Post with Prime and the Commish every Wednesday through the rest of your 2018 season. So Prime will be with me tomorrow. We'll break down our picks, see how we did. I was 2 games down on Prime. We'll see how we did going through week 2's picks. And then we'll jump right in and make our picks along with you joining us. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night, same Raider time, same Raider channel, to see how we did with our picks in week 2. Apparently, Prime and I both got the Raiders game wrong, as probably everybody else here did too. So let's get right into that, shall we? Let's get into that shit. Let's dig deep into it. I know I put y'all through it last night. We did the full recap, condensed version of the game, because it seemed like there was a lot of discrepancies in what actually happened and what people were remembering happened. It's amazing how that works out. How, after a few beers and maybe a blunt or two, the actual events and the chronological order of how it happened kind of get forgotten and all mixed up and jumbled up in the conversations, the party, the atmosphere, the game, wherever you were at. To me, the play that stuck out the most was the last play that we had on offense, basically before the punt. That we went for an quick inside slant. He didn't even look anywhere else. Took the ball, looked, bam! It was 3rd and 8. Yes, the series before that, the drop 4th down by Smith. Also, a thumb right in the throat. The Bruce Irvin penalty. Also a kick in the balls. And allowing an extra point to get blocked. Which that doesn't even happen in fucking video games, man. You know how rare it is to even block a field goal in, like, Madden? It's a goddamn hard. You can't block an extra point. That's how damn near impossible it is. You can't even do it in a fucking video game. But we allowed it to happen. And that point come back to, man, you give up points in an NFL game, it will bite you in the ass at some point. When you go down and dominate an entire half of football and only put 12 points on the board, you will lose every fucking time. You can't dominate a football game in every single statistical category, including time of possession, every category. I only put up 12 points. You can't do that. You don't win games that way. Teams that do that, well, those teams are 0-2. Teams that do that. And that's us right now. Now, let's touch on, I don't want to be, Debbie Downer. So let's touch on positives from week 2. Obviously, Derek Carr was sharp. He was efficient and he was precise. King did post a pic of him throwing up the W, obviously with a little reference to the West Coast as well, and a shit-eating grin. And it is what it is. Fuck him. They won. They won. We had Marquette Queen wear out his fucking leg punting, and we still let him win. So, It is what it is, man. We still let him win. Fuck, way to go, Hot Neil. So, it is what it is. We still let him win. So, yeah, he got to post up his stupid ass picture on his Twitter and rub it in our face. Yes, he did. And fuck him. Fuck him. But Carr was efficient and Carr was accurate. He was deadly accurate. Was he accurate to a fault? Possibly. Was he so accurate that he was focusing too much on short passes and should have been looking more down the field? Was more concerned about the complete pass instead of stretching the field? Is it possible? Maybe. I was happy to see Amari Cooper and him getting the consistent hookup. That was nice to see. It was positive to see. We need to, as I've said all off season, the inclusion of Amari Cooper in the offense is huge for this season. Him and Derek Carr need to click like that. They were good for the Silver and Black Attack, which is my fantasy football team. It got us our first win, so at least they led us to that. And I predicted them to lead us to our first victory of the season this week in Miami, and I'll get to that a little bit later. Marshawn Lynch started the game looking like he was going to be able to assert himself. They tried to finish off the game with typical Marshawn Lynch style, asserting himself and trying to ice the game. Although I'm not 100% sure if I like the way we tried to finish the game. I don't. Tried to pound it with beast mode and grind the clock out. Instead of drop back and go for the dagger. That mentality gets you in 3rd and 8 with a chance to win the game and put it away. Instead of not even getting there. That's the difference. Exactly, Dan. Playing not to lose. Playing not to lose almost always ends up in what? Losing. What's the money phrase? Prevent defense prevents winning. We played not to lose the game instead of playing to win the game, and that's what freaking happens. That's what happens. 2 drives in a row, we had the opportunity to win the game and put it away. 2 drives in a row. You don't get 2 opportunities usually in the NFL. You're lucky if you get 1. Lucky if you get 1. But it is what it is. It is what it is. The positives, you saw Carr and Coop hook up a lot. It was nice to see. You saw Seth Roberts with some nice plays. He had the touchdown. He did have a bad penalty, which Seth Roberts has seemed to be guilty of on frequent occasion. Jalen Richard was not used as much as he was last game. They leaned more towards beast mode in the running game. You did see a sprinkling of Doug Martin, but Doug Martin, listen, man, I'm going back to my first inkling of when I saw sign Doug Martin, and it was my what the fuck signing of the offseason by far. And I just didn't see where Doug Martin fit in. And now I really don't see where Doug Martin fits in when I see him out there on the field. When I see Doug Martin come in, all I find myself asking is where the fuck is Marshawn Lynch and why is he not in there? And if he's not in there, stick Richard in there. Don't give me. I've seen Doug Martin. I Doug Martin hasn't shown me anything that I already seen from that guy, and I'm not impressed. As much hype as I heard out of him, in camp. Oh, he was this, he was that. Listen, I haven't seen it. Since I've seen him on film getting handed the ball in a Raider uniform, I've seen jack and shit out of that guy. So he can take a fucking seat behind Jalen Richard on the depth chart. Let's see 1 and 2. Let's see a Thunder and Lightning going out there without the mix in of freaking a muscle hamster. We don't need him in the mix. We don't need him in the mix. If Marshawn ain't got the fresh legs to just take a switch off with Richard for a below every game play or two, that's all we need. Throwing in a third wheel in there, no. I don't need it. Maybe later, when Chris Warren III is healthy again and you want to bring him up because he's a little more along the lines of beast mode, so you've still got the same kind of back in there, maybe I could see that. But Doug Martin just gives me he's like a lesser version of Richard. I don't need a lesser version of Richard. Richard catches the ball better out of the backfield than Doug Martin. He's quicker and shiftier out of the backfield than Doug Martin. I don't get Doug Martin in the mix. I don't get it, and I'm sick of seeing him in there. Beast Mode needs to get his ass on a freaking bike or something and build up his cardio if he needs that many blows. Because he should be the solid 1-2, and every other down, third down, him and Richard are switching it up. Well, supposedly Chris Warren III is injured. Although I believe he's just stuck in that spot, and he's injured because we just didn't want to lose him. We wanted to keep him on the spot, but didn't want him on our active roster because of, just numerical issues. I do believe that's the case. Rashawn Melvin was big in week 2. He had the big pick that was nice, well timed. Looked like that possibly is a touchdown if he doesn't make that play. Arden Key. A to the fucking K. A to the motherfucking K. You just keep seeing that guy. Number 99, get used to it. It's nice to at least see him and Hurst getting some action going up front there because we haven't got a lot else going on. We made the moves getting McDonald and Hankins, but whether those guys are... Listen, McDonald, you heard me last week. I'm not high on that guy. You're coming from a guy who started 2 games for the worst defensive line in the league the year before. You were pretty much digging through somebody's trash when we signed him. We're just reaching. So now we're bringing back Calhoun as well. Bring back Shalik Calhoun, trying to recycle our own trash. As we sent him down, goes to practice squad. Now we're trying to bring him back up because we're beat up and depleted at a defensive line that we've got no push out of basically out of the first 2 weeks. Now, we did get a little action around the quarterback against the Donkeys. I mean, don't get me wrong. We did have Case Keenum rattled. For the most part, the defense did play fairly well through about 3 quarters. Solid through half. But, listen, man. I sit here and I hear all of the... Well, you can't blame it on Carr. Look at how good he did statistically. You can't blame it on Carr. He set the record. Only 4th in the league to ever do it. You can't blame it on... Listen. When your defense performs like that in a half, and your quarterback cannot maneuver you to more than 12 points, that is a fucking problem. I don't care if he's 15 for 15. It doesn't matter. If it's 15 for 15 throwing shit and garbage, you got to put that thing down the field, man. You got to put that thing... You got to take some chances. And this is where it comes to fire and want for me. 6 games in a row now. We're not scoring over 20 points. And we're not going for the jugular. We had this game in the bag with 2 drives at hand to get it done. To go for the jugular and get it done. We had 2 games to go for the jugular and get it done. And we did not go for the win. 2 drives. Keith Smith drops the 1. And the next one is 3rd and 8. We decided to go for a friggin' quick slant that gets us 2 yards. Quick inside slant on 3rd and 8. He releases the ball so quickly on that slant that there's no way that route could even get near deep enough to get anywhere near the first down. You cannot continue to play not to lose. At some point, you have to play to win the game. At some point, you had to roll the dice. You had to push it down the damn field. The Raiders have lived and died by the vertical game our entire lineage. Push the fucking ball. You've got Martavius Bryant. The guy runs and jumps like a fucking deer. Throw him the fucking ball. Throw him the ball. Amari Cooper, send him deep. Try something. When it's the end of the game, you don't turn to now little outs, quick slants, hand it off to beast mode, hand it off to beast mode, hand it off to beast mode. Throw the damn ball. Yeah, great. Completion percentage was fabulous. Great. Great. Let me introduce you to Dan Marino, who's sitting back here counting his fucking statistics. He'd trade every one of those statistics for a ring. Statistics mean shit. Rich Gannon had a season of the most 300-yard games a quarterback's ever had. Won an MVP. You don't think he'd trade all that to have that 2002 season Super Bowl back? It comes down to wins for me. Statistics are great. Yeah, he got to 15,000 yards. He's the greatest Raider quarterback through 4 seasons statistically. And he's a really nice guy. He's been nice every time I've met him. He signs stuff, gives my kids stuff. He's a super nice guy. But you know what? I'll trade all that for some fucking W's. For a guy who'll go in there, win it ugly, get dirty, grab his teammates by the face mask and motherfucker them. I'd trade all that. All those stats for a guy that'll do that. For all the fundamentals, he does this right, he does that right, for all of that, I'm still waiting to see that last little bit, that little thing they're always talking about, that everybody always says, oh, he's got that. He's got that it. He's got that it factor. He's got that. I'm waiting to see that it factor. Where you just know when the guy walks on the field. Oh shit. Oh shit. You've seen it. You've seen it in every sport. You've seen it in tennis. You've seen it in basketball. You've seen it in baseball. You've seen it when that guy walks to the plate and you just know, oh shit. That guy's got it, man. That something's about to happen. I seen it briefly in 2016. I seen it briefly in 2016. And I start to believe that he had it. And I see twinkles of it every now and then still, and it makes me wonder. He's so young still. He's so young. But there are quarterbacks that have had more success, that have made it deeper in the playoffs, younger in their career than him, quicker in their career than him. This guy's in his 5th year, Raider Nation. Our quarterback's in his 5th year now. It's now time. Right now is the perfect challenge laid forth. Right now, your season is on the pivot. It is on the pivot of going south in a quick way. At 0-2 since 1990 in the new playoff era in the NFL, you have right around a 12% chance of making the playoffs after you've started the NFL season 0-2. There's always the exception to the rule, but history does not bode well for you to buck that trend. 0-3, obviously, you don't have to be fucking Einstein to figure out the percentage drops dramatically. Hence, do you drop the term must win game? Do you drop that term this week? Whoop whoop to you, Leslie. Do you drop the term this week? Must win game. When you're looking at 0-2, and you're looking at 2 other teams in your division who are already 2-0. No, Ryan, they were not. We started the season 4-0, and then we lost 4 games after that to go to 4-4, and then everybody was questioning us. Oh, shit. Blah, blah, blah. Good point, Dan. It's a must-win game. I don't care what anybody says. It's a must-win game. You've backed yourself in. And you know what? You've backed yourself in a corner against a team who hasn't looked bad. He's put up 27-20. The Fish have won back-to-back games. They're sitting at 2-0, atop their division. They're feeling good. And they're at home. We got to go all the way across the country. West to east. In a game that we got to freaking win. We got to win. This is not a... if This is our quarterback this week has to come out and look like the franchise quarterback we expect him to be. I need to see beast mode, hitting the line and hitting it hard. I need to see him moving bodies. I need to see crisp routes. I need to see a continuation of the connection of AC/DC like we've seen this last week. And I need to see the defense continue to improve. Listen, I don't put a lot of what is the last two outcomes. Oh, now you're just crazy, T. Now you're just crazy. I don't put a lot of the last two outcomes on our defense. Yes, we give up points, but the offense fed them points in the second half of game one. Spoon fed them. Gift wrapped that shit. We even had a freaking pick six. And in this last game, we give them a shutout in the first half. The defense gives them a shutout. But this is a very winnable game. And I feel that we can win this game in Miami. And this is a possibility to really, really right the ship right here and right it quickly. As I've said and I've been saying, the first 6 games are a very favorable schedule. You beat Miami at home, and you get to come home to play the Browns. Now, the Browns are an interesting team, as they haven't looked really bad the first 2 weeks. But it's still the Browns. That's a very winnable game. And then you get to go on the road to play the Los Angeles Chokers, which we know is basically a home game in LA. It's just a reunion party. That's all it is. All the silver and black will come out. So there you've got a very favorable schedule there. And then you got to go play the bitch pigeons in London, which their offensive line's like a fucking sieve right now. Very favorable schedule. So it comes down to this one game. Every season there's that pivoting point. There's that galvanizing game. And maybe this is this week. I'm going to be there. We're going to have the Raider Reaction booth set up. We're going to be live streaming. So if you happen to be at the game, make sure you stop by our booth. We're going to be selling Raider Reaction Deep Behind the Enemy Line t-shirts. Special price $25 t-shirts. Comes with 2 bracelets. The Raider Reaction Deep Behind the Enemy Line bracelets. You get 2 bracelets and a t-shirt for $25. So stop by. Come on, sit down with us. Come on, talk about what you think's gonna go on in the game, which is obviously, as we all look at it, a must-win this week in Miami. I'll be there super early as soon as the freaking gates open. We'll be in Yellow Lot 13 where the tailgate action is going to be going down at the Miami Invasion. Pillaging Miami. We'll be there with the Autumn Wind Experience, Orlando Raider Nation, and the South Florida Raider Booster Club. We'll be hanging out there. We're going to have our canopy set up. Silver Sunshine will be there with me. I believe Captain Jack will be there as well, or at least in the general vicinity. So make sure you stop by. Check me out. We'll be there live, streaming it up, crazy live, all pregame the tailgate. So if you're not there, make sure you're right here on Raider Reaction. I'll be bringing you mad, crazy footage from all of the tailgate action. We'll be doing live interviews with Raider Nation in attendance and just bringing you everything that you're going to see the game, but we're going to give you the straight lead up before it. And then we'll try to pop in for a live halftime at the stadium. Captain and I are going to be together in the club, so we will try to hook up and drop you a live on location at the game halftime show, as well as our instant post game reaction. You're gonna get that. You know, might be a little tipsy now, so you know, take it easy on me. Because I plan on we're gonna be celebrating. So we're eating sushi this weekend, so I plan on celebrating proper like. As we start our season off right here in Miami with a W Sunday. Be our first start of our winning streak, start of our 3-game winning streak as we take down the Dolphins, the Browns, and the Chokers in succession. But, so, I'll be on location Sunday. I was supposed to be on location Saturday, but current situations have unfortunately left my attendance to Saturday's Raider party at the island party. Is a little in flux currently, unfortunately, so we got to hash that out, but we will see. We will see. We will get back to that at a later date. So, a must-win game. You look at the rest of our division, not only the fact just because we're 0-2, but you got to look at the fact that the Donkeys and the Chiefs are 2-0. You got to look at the fact that as bad as the Donkeys' offense has looked over 2 weeks, they've won. And as much as I hate to say it, and I didn't see it, I didn't believe it until I seen it, Patrick Mahomes looks like it may be the real deal at quarterback. And is he the improvement from Alex Smith that they have been looking for? It's too early to tell. I'm trying. My Saturday event. See, my game day is messed up because I'm attending the game with my 12-year-old son. So it's a little hard to drag my 12-year-old son to the Saturday events and then, you know, go out and party and leave him at a hotel. That's just not cool. And he has a baseball game that he starts. He's in the starting lineup. And he bats second. And he's also got a jiu-jitsu promotion ceremony, which they have only one every 6 months. So that's a big deal. And he's kind of wants me to be at both. And he's coming with me to the game. So all of a sudden, all of my plans are just all fucking screwed up. But regardless, I will be there when the gates open, one way or another, on game day. And we will be set up bright and early. And the Raider Reaction tent will be live and cracking. So, he'll be ready. He was at the whole party last season. He was at the whole. We were at the tailgate, the Sunday Night Football tailgate party down there last season at 2 o'clock. Yeah, he hung all the way through. He was solid. He was there for the whole tailgate party, all the way up until Sunday Night Football, all the way through Sunday Night Football. He's a trooper. But I ain't taking him to the club. Not yet. Oh, that day'll come. But not yet. Not yet. Not yet. So I look forward to this game. This is our this will be our yearly game. And with the boy, and I'm looking forward to this game. So, and it's a big one. It's an important game. It's a very, very important game. It's a must win. A must win. Absolutely a must win game. I 100% believe it. 100% believe it. So back to just some of the news that has went on. Yes, Shalik Calhoun was brought back up from the practice squad, and defensive tackle Brian Price, short stint. He just got a Raider jersey to hang in his closet, so, you know, like part of his collection. Like, yeah, I was a Raider for a minute. For a minute. But he's gone, and we're basically just trying to fill holes and keep depth on the defensive line, as we've got a lot of folks beat up, and we're just a mash unit up there up front. PJ Hall, still not 100%. Justin Ellis out. We're just beat up. We're reaching. When you're signing Clinton McDonald, you're reaching. When you're signing a guy who only started 2 games for the worst defensive line in the league last season, that means you're reaching. That means you're concerned. When you start bringing back wide receivers that you just cut a week before, it just starts. These little things just start making you question. But I saw improvement. Yes, in week 2 I saw improvement. But this isn't supposed to be a team where, like, every week I'm like, yeah, they got a little bit better. This is not supposed to be this kind of team. You know it and I know it, Raider Nation. This ain't supposed to be this kind of team that we're like, oh, they got a little better this week. They're coming around. Fuck that they're coming around shit. This team was supposed to be locked and loaded, ready to go, with the proper driver behind the wheel now. And the offenses looked inept. Bad penalties, bad clock management, bad play calling, and not aggressive play calling at all. It's not. This isn't supposed to be a team that, oh, we're getting better. No, this is a team that was supposed to be ready to fucking go. This was a team that was locked and loaded in 2016. That we tweaked and added all the bells and whistles in 2017, just had a fucked up coaching staff. And we fixed that. And now we're supposed to be ready to go. And now we're supposed to be playoff caliber. Now we're supposed to be kicking in teeth in the AFC West. And we're out there pissing down our leg and can't put up points. That ain't. I don't want to hear we looked better. Listen, I'm past. The rest of Raider Nation is past it. The days of, oh, we're getting better. Hey, fuck that shit. Okay? Fuck that. It's time to win and win now. I'm sick of we're getting better. You're paid to win. It's a commitment to excellence. Just win, baby. Get it done. This week is a must-win game. You have backed yourself in a corner right out of the gate. The 2 biggest rivals for the division crown are already 2-0. You've backed yourselves in a corner. Already 2 weeks in. What do you do when you're backed in a corner? I guess you can cower down and turtle up and defend yourself and try to do the best you can and just make it through and try to survive. But what do? If you're backed in a corner, that's the time to come out swinging. Because you're already backed in a corner. They can't push you any further back. Come out swinging. Because what are they going to do? You can't get pushed back any further than you already are. So you come out dropping bombs. And when you swing for the fences, some of them land. That's how you get knockouts. That's how you win games. You don't knock somebody out throwing jabs. You'll catch one every once in a while. But you got to throw bombs. You got to come out of the corner that you backed yourself in and being aggressive, attacking, and going for the jugular. That's how we beat the Dolphins. That's how we dice up and leave sushi all over the fucking field on Sunday afternoon. That's your game plan to victory. Quit pussyfooting around. First down is not a running down every fucking drive. We don't run on first, run on second, pass on third. Run on first, run on second, pass on third. Come on. Mix it up. Enough with the quick outs, the bubble screens, the quick slants. Roll Derek Carr out. Get the defense moving. Move it around. We have Jordy fucking Nelson, who's one of the most precise route runners in the NFL. And where the hell has he been? He's a ghost out there. Martavius Bryant. I said it before, man. The guy runs and jumps like a fucking deer. And we can only get him the ball in fucking bubble screens? Wide receiver screens? What's wrong with that? Every time we're going deep, we're actually having success. Then we don't go back there. I don't get it. I'm at a loss. This Gruden offense that we expected to see this season, it just hasn't been what we needed to see. Blitz. Yeah, how about last game? We blitzed before the last fucking play, huh? We finally bring pressure after they've walked it down the field on us. I don't put a lot of blame on our defense, though. With a completely new defense, I don't put a lot of blame. I do ask the question of why Carl Joseph got even less time this week, though. Why more Reggie Nelson? Why not less and more Joseph? Why? What did Carl Joseph do? Jeez. Did he pat somebody's daughter on the ass or what? What'd that guy do to get in trouble? Because all of a sudden, Reggie Nelson's just, now, I gotta admit, Reggie played okay this week. Our corners didn't play bad. I seen Conley, man. Conley was in some precarious positions on several deep plays. But you know what? Every one of those, he was right there, right in the mix, tight coverage, and battling. It's tough to be a defensive back in the NFL. And all I can ask is that you're tight and you're on him. And he seemed to be solid. Rashawn Melvin was one of the bright spots of the game. There's a lot of positive that can be taken from week 2. But we fucking lost. I have a hard time taking positives out of a loss. Yeah, we got better. Yeah, well, fuck that. I'm sick of hearing that shit. Alright? I've been waiting almost 2 decades for us to get better. I'm done watching us get better. I'm done sitting at the oven waiting for that shit to bake. Okay? That shit's done. Pop it the fuck out and serve that shit. Start serving up some W's. I'm over it. Raider Nation's over it. That's why we're losing our mind 2 weeks in. Because we've been down this fucking road 100 times before. We know what a losing season feels like. Alright? It's not a feeling that we want to remember. And we're starting to oh shit. Man, I've turned down this fucking road before. You know, we're all feeling a little bit. Got that little knot in our stomach, fuck. That's why I look at this week and I got a big fucking red circle around it, man, that this is a we gotta win this game, man. This game in Miami is a big goddamn game. This is a team that's had playoff history over the last few seasons. They've been around. This is a must-win game. They're 2-0. They beat two AFC teams, the Titans and the Jets. I know it's the Titans and the Jets, but the Jets look like world beers. Everybody was wanting to crown them something out of week 1. Oh, they got the new stud rookie quarterback, Mr. fucking Hair. And, then they're the Jets. But, exactly, Kevin. Exactly, my man. 31 new players, and you realize everybody but about 2 or 3 on defense is new. We had only 2 guys returning out of the front 4, all new linebackers. The corners were both basically new, and the safeties are one of the safeties is new. So basically, only like 3 guys return on your entire defensive squad. So your offense was mostly intact and returning, but your defense is a totally new team. You still don't know. You still don't know what we're getting out of that defense, but what are we getting out of that defense? We're getting a defense that has gave you the opportunity to be in the game in week 1, but your turnovers killed them, murdered them. In week 2, they gave you a half of a game shutout and absolutely dominated it, gave you decent field position, gave you opportunities, and you didn't do what you needed to do with it. So I don't blame a lot on the defense. I would say our new defense, we should be happy with what we've seen thus far. Has it been perfect? No. Is it improved? You fucking bet your ass it is. But our offense needs to put points on the board. Field goals do not win games in the NFL. Touchdowns win games. Touchdowns win games, and aggressive play wins games. Teams that continue to go for the jugular, continue to attack, even when they're winning. Yeah, you got your foot on your throat, so step on it more. You keep attacking. There's no fucking sportsmanship in the NFL. You run the fucking score up. You bloody them. You don't back off and start running the ball and dinking and dunking. Fuck that. You got a quarterback who's dealing and he's hitting every fucking thing he's throwing, then you start running some different routes down the fucking field and let him hit those guys. And that game's over. It's an afterthought. That game had so many opportunities in week 2 to be put away. We can't let that happen in week 3. We cannot let that happen in week 3. And I don't think we'll let that happen in week 3. I really believe that this game's going to be our wake-up game. That the way our schedule is set up before the bye week, it's set up for a bounce back. I thought it was really the Donkeys game. It should have been. But now it's this one, followed by the return home against the Browns. These are 2 winnable games. Then we basically got a hybrid home game in LA, a reunion game. Go to LA and black that bitch out. That's a 3-game winning streak. And everything's right. The ship has been righted, and the course is strong and straight. That's what's going to happen. Now, we'll touch more on the Miami game as we'll really get into it Thursday. I'm going to have Captain in the house for Raider Nation Ricochet, as him and I will both be in attendance at the Miami game. So we'll really chop it up, get into a lot of the breakdown of the Miami game on Thursday. Of course, tomorrow night is Goes to the Post Wednesday with Prime and the Commish, as we will go through all of the week 3 games to make our predictions, and we'll see how Prime and I did with last week's picks and how that shook out. Of course, I'm down 2 games to Prime after week 1, so we'll see how that shook out. So make your picks with us tomorrow. But let's not forget that we must end the show with a special little segment that I like to call My WTF. Now, Raider Reaction is exactly that. It was built and based upon the fact that it was my forum for my Raider reaction. My reaction to what happened on the game, big moves, trades, what have you. It's my instant Raider reaction. Well, you know, over the course of, you know, the life of Raider Reaction, it has morphed. We're somewhat of a hybrid news page. We provide graphics, opinions. You know, we provide pirate pages. We stream games on. We do a lot of different things at Raider Reaction, and it has morphed and it has turned into a lot of different things. But at the core of that is still my Raider reaction. And I interweave it all day long. I will have a reaction to whatever the trade was. It may be in a post that you get it. It may be in a graphic. It may be some way. A tweet, an Instagram post, what have you. You'll get my take with a news story. You'll get my take on what I thought about certain trades that just happened recently. You get my take on things that happened during the game. My instant reaction. Well, guess what? I don't pull punches. If my kids are doing shitty with their homework and they're bringing home crap grades, I'm going to tell them that's unacceptable and that those grades fucking suck and that shit's got to get corrected. The same way I'm going to talk about my team. So you certain fans and followers of the page that like to pop on my posts and question my loyalty when I criticize the team, or question whether I'm real, or tell me to go get off the fucking bandwagon, or say some shit like that, you just don't get it. And you just don't understand, and you never will. And to you, ignorant sheep, I say, what the fuck? Raise up off me, because I bleed silver and black a lot more than most. Raider Reaction is a lot of things, but it's definitely not a bandwagon page, my friends. So, don't get it twisted. We're all about the Raiders right here. We want to see nothing but success. But right now, we're at a crossroads. And we need to see W's. And we need to see W's this fucking week. It's a must win in Miami. A must win. I think we'll get it done. I'm predicting a victory. I'm picking the Raiders tomorrow night when Prime's on here too. I'm backing off. Fuck him. Raiders will win in South Beach. Come here tomorrow. Pick all the games with me and Primes. We'll run through all the games in week 2 and week 3. And look back at week 2 and see how we did with our picks. Thank you for joining me, as always, new and old, my band of pirates. Thank you for joining me, as always. Tomorrow night, Ghost of the Post, Prime and the Commish, Raider Nation Ricochet with Captain Jack on Thursday, and then Black Friday on Friday. I'll see you tomorrow night. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation!